All right, we're going. And I had a pit bull boxer mix named Sam. Yeah, except for the only difference was that I got this one from my nephew, and it had a ball of crack, and it ate it. You ever see a dog on crack?
I've seen a lot of people on crack, but not a dog.
All right. Welcome back to Define Insanity. Joe, what are you doing?
Nothing. Listening to your scrambled eggs over there.
All right, well, listen. Look, I'm a little disgruntled right now, all right?
Oh, there he goes. I told
the dog's
you.
raping the cat.
I told you.
Oh,
Jesus,
man. Bowie, not even a minute into the show.
Not even 30 seconds.
Already into the raping.
Yay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Bowie with the raping.
The studio dog has this thing with the cat where he, just mounts it, and it's a 17-year-old cat, and the cat just
very, very upsetting.
The cat basically just lets him finish, so it's a whole thing. I don't even know.
Thing.
At this point, it's consensual. I would think, right?
Yeah, I don't even think it's.
I guess
It's an odd relationship. It's abusive.
You would think he drugs her up first, because look at her.
The cat is 17. Am I wrong?
Yeah, she's 16 and a half, but yeah, that's
and she
approximately 85 in cat years.
And she looks really young, right, Bowie?
Yeah.
Bowie's like, yeah, she looks young.
Well, you know what they say, black don't crack.
Oh,
Cat's black.
We don't have visuals. The cat is black.
She is black. Yes.
Bowie is a white and gray mix. I believe some kind of a sheepdog or
a doodle of sorts.
Yeah, doodle. But I know I'm a little pissed though because my agent sent me on an audition. Right, my agent. I don't even think she knows who I am. All right, when you go to an audition, I don't know if you guys don't know this. You go into audition, usually you're in the waiting room with a bunch of people that look just like you. Right, it's like a type. Okay, it's a commercial for. I don't want to give the name. It was a home security.
You signed an NDA.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I just don't. I'm still waiting for a callback. But
homoerotic.
I don't think I'm going to get it. So no, it was for
.com.
It was for a security thing. But anyway, I get in there. And it's a bunch of 290-pound lard asses. And nothing against fat people. Like I said, I love fat people. Fat people are great. I'm just saying, why am I there? I'm the only one that's not this fat. And the
diversity.
That's right.
Well, no. I think my agent just doesn't know who I am. I haven't seen her in over 2 years. I only speak to her on the phone.
Were you 290 in your last headshot?
No, she sends me on all these auditions. One time I went on an audition, I was the only white guy in the audition. What are you doing?
She wants you to fire her.
You think so?
Yeah, she doesn't want to break up with you. She wants you to fire her. She wants you to be like, this bitch sucks.
Did you ever do that when you were dating? You're like, I don't feel like breaking up with this person, but right. I'm going to do my best to get dumped.
But I'm not firing her.
She wants you to dump her.
I'm not going to fire her. You know how hard it was to get that agent? I got it while I was drunk. I used to go on auditions drunk. That was my thing. And I would lie on my resume. I would put I have surfing skills, skateboarding skills, Christopher Walken accent, surfer accent, German accent, Russian accent, Spanish accent. I could do all accents. I could speak Japanese fluently. And I just assumed that no one, in the audition room would be able to check on that.
Wait, could you imagine though? He comes in and they're like, "Oh, so I heard you do Spanish accents. Hit us." And then they hear his accent.
Did know that would happen a lot. Oh yes, how you doing?
Oh my God.
What are you doing, vatos?
You're like, all right, get out of here, dude.
What's wrong with that Spanish accent? That Spanish accent is not bad.
The Russian's the only thing that's good.
I think Russian is the only passable.
The Russian's the only.
Well, my Russian, they would ask me to do the Russian. The Christopher Walken's not bad.
And your Jew's good.
What do you mean? I mean, my Walken is... It's not bad. Yeah. It's okay.
Your walking is crawling, but
come on.
That's decent. That's decent.
It's not bad, but listen, the bottom line is I got this agent by doing stuff like that, because you walk into a room, sometimes they just want to see if you can open up and have a good time and make them laugh, It's like the layover test, when you get a job, when you want to get hired, does your potential boss want to sit with you at an airport for a couple hours and drink a beer? Are you fun to sit with? That's one of the tests. So I feel like that's how I got my agent. I don't want to give her up, but she's sending me on these horrible auditions, and I have no idea why she's sending me on them, Joe.
I just told you, she wants you to fire her.
I'm not firing her, Joe.
Well, you should.
If she's not careful, she's going to lose you.
Joe, lying on resumes is like a pastime in this country. Everyone does it. There's nothing wrong with it.
No, I did it all the time. So I did 5 years of college. Okay, it took me 5 years to graduate, and I didn't. They have this rule where if you have like 9 credits left, you could walk, right, with your classmates. And
what do you mean you could walk? You can walk around.
You get a fake diploma. I know, it's fucking terrible.
It's
nothing wrong with the boys.
So basically, I had 9 credits left, right? So everything was a show. Madison Square Garden, I get the cap and gown. They give me a fake diploma. My parents get to take pictures of me with my class, and all I had to do was make those up in summer school.
Right.
Still haven't done it.
Right.
But on my resume, I have a major in marketing, minor in psychology. I was getting jobs left and right. What a great combination.
Right.
The only thing I did was bullshit my way through school. We used to have professors at that time who we paid to write the paper for us. So it wasn't something you got online. You would give them the assignment and be like, what do you want? A, B, C, B minus.
What kind of fucking school did you go to? Is this DeVry?
Don't worry about it.
Like, what is this?
No, it was Iona.
Okay, Iona. So you paid your professors to write your papers for you, then they would...
Not my professors.
Oh,
we had
other
a group
professors?
of professors. It was professors we knew. It was like a fucking little tunnel thing that we had. We were a bunch of fucking criminals. Anything we could do to like do the angle or skip work. I worked a lot harder trying to cheat the system than just doing the work.
Oh, me too. When I graduated from college, I did the same thing, but I didn't have a group of professors that would like write my papers. I still think that's a little fucking weird. Quite frankly, it sounds a little made up. Casey, what do you think?
Well, I don't know that you got a leg to stand on with intro makeup.
Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
If I exaggerate a little during my intros, it's all for an artistic integrity and a point of view and a perspective for our audience to get a feel and a taste of what it's like to live the life of Define Insanity podcast hosts.
I know. It's like you continue.
We're all just characters.
Talk like you're
our
straight.
Actual selves.
Well, when I used to cheat on tests, because I graduated from college, believe it or not, I have a bachelor's degree in journalism, but I cheated through the entire educational system. And here's the crazy part. I learned a lot in college creating the cheat sheets. Like when you make a cheat sheet, you involuntarily learn the material. And a lot of these times when I would take these tests, I wouldn't even need the cheat sheets. I would just know the material. I'm like, interesting. But like I
said, they call that studying.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, but I had to trick myself into studying. I have the ADHD brain.
What are you going to do about this agent?
I'm going to keep going on these auditions. I mean, what am I going to do?
Well, we have a surprise for you, Justin.
You didn't bring her, did you?
Here. Come on down.
No, shut up. She didn't even right.
Does she know about this? She know about the podcast?
I told her about the podcast.
That's why she's not booking you for
That's why she's not booking you.
Oh, you think it has anything to do with that?
She probably listened to it, and she's like, I can't send them to...
She does, she does have a tendency to be judgmental.
Yeah.
From when I met her, she didn't like my Christopher Walken accent. She liked that I did it. And she didn't like my.
She liked your Christopher Walken?
No, she didn't. She liked my surfer boy, like California surfer dude, man.
If I was your agent, I would put you up for every gay part that ever came out. That's what you would fucking be a superstar by now.
Dude, that's totally bogus, bro.
If I was your agent,
I
don't know.
Is it possible that it keeps getting worse?
Yeah,
that's not bad.
It's not bad.
I got an agent using that voice.
When you use that voice, it makes me want to fucking chop you in the throat so bad.
But if you don't understand,
just a quick chop
80s
right in the throat.
80s movies, and like that genre.
Yeah,
of,
I get it.
Like
you're terrible at
those voices. Like you could like that. That's how Keanu Reeves' career started. And the other guy, no one knows his name from Lost Boys. The other guy from Bill and Ted. The other one. Yeah. They thought he was going to be the big star, by the way. They just went into the audition like totally gnarly, dude. And they got it. They got it with that voice. Boom, done, out of here.
Try that shit now.
Try it now.
Well, I think personally, I have a theory about 80s movies, like Over the Top and Rambo and like all these awesome Jean-Claude Van Damme movies and Steven Seagal. My theory is all 80s action movies were fueled by cocaine. They were written on cocaine. The producers were on cocaine.
That's like
the actors were on cocaine.
I don't think he's
But people are always asking like why can't we capture the magic of the 80s?
Yeah.
You think about the shit they tried to push out in the 80s. Like you think about all the 80s. I would love to be a fly on the wall for the pitch meeting for some of these television shows. Just the premise, like, remember My Two Dads?
Yeah, cocaine. Fueled by cocaine.
Guy's just coked up. He's like, here's the deal.
Yeah.
The mom's dead, and there's two guys that could be the father.
Yeah.
So instead of getting a paternity test, they're going to get an apartment.
Right, that's how that shit. What
That's
about
the whole
Twins?
premise of that.
What about the movie Twins?
They were
like
just out
that,
of
like
their minds.
you've got to be coked out of your fucking gourd to come up with a movie where Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito are twins in some fucking capacity.
it's
over the top. Let's make a
Shane
movie about arm wrestling. Like what?
Shane Gillis has a funny thing like that. He's talking about like the Special Olympics. He's talking about like the first people who thought that up. Like
Right.
Like what a hard conversation that is.
Yeah.
Like, hey, the next town over said they got the fastest ones.
yeah.
Let's
No,
race
it's
these
true.
motherfuckers and find.
Let's race them.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's pretty genius. But yeah, I think that's my theory. And all 80s music, I mean, not all, well, probably music too, but all 80s movies and everything. I think that's what the film industry is missing now.
Cocaine.
Cocaine. I think Saturday Night Live. How much funnier was SNL in the 70s and 80s and early 90s?
So you're gonna get a new agent.
Get a new agent.
I gotta get a new agent. A
new pair of accents.
I don't think she even knows who I am.
Yeah.
I think she thinks I'm someone else. And keeps sending me on these weird. Oh, one of the main things that got me here too. This is my favorite part. She still doesn't know to this day. I mean, she's going to know right now because you know what? I think I'm going to get rid of her. But she doesn't know to this day.
She's gonna be so
that
excited.
I performed a monologue
finally worked.
in the studio.
I believe
and
it's an analog.
Shut up. I performed a monologue in the studio, and it was an original monologue. It wasn't an original monologue, right? I said it was an original monologue.
Christopher Walken?
I'm a fucking,
New York?
I'm drinking like a gallon of vodka a day, smoking like nonstop weed, just doing coke and pills. Like I can't memorize a monologue. I'm not in a place where I can, but I did memorize Dennis Leary's asshole. The monologue in the middle of Dennis Leary's asshole, I involuntarily memorized that. So I called that my original monologue, and she to this day, that is really what got me the her as an agent. Not the Sheffer Boy thing she kind of liked, but the you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get myself a 1967 Cadillac Eldorado convertible, hot pink with whaleskin hubcaps and all leather brown interior,
He's gonna do the
and
whole
big
thing.
brown baby seal eyes for
please
headlights.
don't.
Yeah, I'm gonna drive around that baby at 150 miles per hour, getting 1 mile per gallon, sucking down quarter pounder cheeseburgers from McDonald's in the old-fashioned, non-biodegradable styrofoam containers. And when I'm done sucking down those greaseball burgers,
Still going.
I'm gonna toss
What is that,
those styrofoam
Demolition
containers
Man,
right
right?
out the side. I'm gonna wipe my
Demolition
mouth with
Man.
American flag.
It
And you
is,
know why?
right?
Because we got the bombs. That's why. 2 words: nuclear fucking weapons. Okay, Russia, Germany, Romania. They can have all the democracy they
God.
want. They can have a big democracy cakewalk right through the middle of Tiananmen Square, and it won't make a lick of difference. You know why? Because we got the bombs. John Wayne's not dead. He's frozen. As soon as you find a cure for cancer, we're going to thaw out the Duke, and he's going to be pretty pissed off. You know why? Have you ever taken a cold shower? Multiply it by
Still
15,000
going.
times. That's how pissed off the Duke's going to be. I'm going to get the Duke, John
It's
Cassavetes,
from
Lee
that
Marr,
movie, though,
Sam
right? That was
Peckendorf,
right.
and a case of whiskey, and drive down to Texas.
What movie is that from?
That's from Dennis Leary's Asshole, the song.
Oh,
In the middle of Dennis Leary's Asshole.
I gotta say, every time you say Dennis Leary's
know.
asshole, I
I knew he was.
No,
in
it's
know what
not
you're talking
from
about.
the
I knew you were in
inner
Omaha.
part of Dennis Leary's actual
that's
asshole.
what it sounds like when you say it that way.
I didn't
Determined.
read in
We got to
between
investigate that
the.
a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
But that really impressed. I didn't say it that fast. I walked around the room. I did
No,
slow.
no, it's good. We get it.
It was really
We
good.
get it.
We got it.
I'm glad you said thanks for saying it so fast.
That,
though.
that,
Well, I had to
that'll
get
be
to
our,
it
that'll be
quick.
our intro for the next episode. We'll have you do it at your audition pace.
Yeah.
And that
Yes.
was not just in case the listeners think we sped that up. Casey did not speed that up.
No,
That was
we didn't.
normal speed.
No.
No.
We put crack inside of his Red Bull today, or Celsius. And,
Oh, I didn't
and
even
that's what
get
you
my Celsius.
No, thank
Celsius.
God. Let's fucking. You got any like I don't know, mushroom tea or something? Give him some
slow-
downer.
slow him down.
We got some mushroom tea. We got some ecstasy. We got
Yeah.
nitrous opium oxide, heroin, and PCP.
And we also got a guest.
do we have a guest?
Not only do
I've
we have
been
a
waiting
guest
for this transition.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Well, that was a perfect that was a seamless transition.
Well, that's what I do. I wait
Yeah.
for you to fucking
Yeah.
go on with your nonsense and then
Yeah.
clean it up.
We got our guest. He's in the green room.
And it's the first outside guest, meaning we just started this thing, right? A lot of people
Right.
we bring on here we know somehow, a friend of a friend,
Friend of a friend of a
whatever.
friend of a friend of a friend.
I'm
Yeah.
really excited because it's the first outside guest, and let's bring him down. He's been in the green room for a while.
Well,
listening
he's one of
to
the first
fucking
people,
weird nonsense.
one of our first guests that actually took advantage of the meat corner in the green room.
That's right.
And
That's
he
right.
actually is snacking on a lot of our dried meat sticks.
Yeah.
You want to bring him on down?
Absolutely.
All right, let's bring him on down. Chad, come on down. Oh, geez, Chad. All right. Geez,
Guy's
wow.
got that workman.
God, stumbling
Yeah.
down. You all right, Chad? What's up, brother?
That's a strong walk.
Yeah, I can lay off the whiskey a little bit.
Ah, see, there we go. I love it. Oh, Casey brought me a beautiful Celsius.
Oh,
Celsius is
man.
a delicious beverage. It's sparkling lemon lime. It has the essential energy. It accelerates metabolism, burns fat, and it is delicious to give you energy. Celsius, the delicious drink of divine insanity.
I want to go ahead and right off the bat thank Chad for two things. I want to thank Chad for being patient with our rescheduling, and number two, for not walking out in the middle of that intro.
Oh, come on. Yeah, we had to cancel on Chad twice, unfortunately. Both were my fault. Were they both my fault?
I think they were both your fault. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one of them was.
I think we know
one
for
of them.
certain.
One of them was because of well, they were both TV shows, but they kept me late.
Yeah.
They kept me
and
late.
He jinxed it.
And I jinxed, and I said they never keep me late.
Yeah, he goes. They're never going to keep me late. They have this shit on the ball.
Well, it's
There's
a
no way this is
specific
gonna
show
happen.
that has been on the air. I'm not going to say what show, but you'll know it's been on the air for 27 years. So you would think that they got it down to an exact science where you go in there and you at 8
Let's
o'clock.
just say
and
the
leave
whole
at
thing was
5.
particularly heinous.
Dude, it was totally heinous, man.
Oh,
It's
Jesus.
totally
All right.
heinous.
All right, now let's please get to
Please.
our guest. Chad, the mic is yours, brother. Usually what we like to do is have our guests introduce themselves
Yes.
to our listeners, right? And just a little introduction about you, who you are, your name, where you came from, grew up, family life, things like that.
All right. Well, first off, I want to say you forgot his tampon with that Celsius.
Me and Chad are here drinking black coffee, and he's got his lemon lime.
You know, it's funny he says my tampon because I used to soak tampons in vodka.
I
and
think
stick
you
them
heard
up
that
my butt.
episode, yeah. That's why,
It was a way to get drunk when you couldn't actually
Where's your
drink
Zima,
liquor.
you
Yeah.
whore? All right, Chad.
Put some Mad Dog 2020 in Boone's Farm, and that'll give you kids.
Love it. We got to write this shit down. KC, write it down.
This is what we got to put on T-shirts.
Yes.
That's why I have 5.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, thank you for having me here. My name is Chad. I'm from Louisiana, as you could probably tell, my strong southern dialect. Grew up on a farm all my life, from a backwoods country, from a small town of Converse, Louisiana. About 400 people. Everybody knew each other. And no, I wasn't fucking kin to everybody.
Well, no, we didn't. No, we wouldn't assume that you were kin. Joe, the Ginzo Dago over here doesn't understand what kin means. Kin means family, Joe. Family.
I knew what kin meant. I got a couple of kin.
He had a confused look on his face.
Yeah, the last time I checked with the Italians, they're pretty much all kin.
Yeah. Oh, I love
We
it.
are.
I love it.
We are. That's right. The Jews are no better. What are you talking about?
Is that why you guys always go, hey, cuz, hey, cuz?
You guys
what you
always
doing,
stick
cuz?"
together. You stick together more than we do.
Don't feel bad. The closer the kin, the deeper it goes in.
Oh. So you grew up. Wait. So you.
So many T-shirts here.
So you
Write it
grew
down.
up. You grew up in a town with 400 people. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was shit.
Was it shit?
It was shit.
Wait, was it shit right away? Like, meaning sometimes when you're a kid, that's life. Did you know right away, or as you got older, you're like, what the fuck? Where is everybody?
No, I mean, growing up on the farm, we had cows, we had chickens, we did all that shit, and I've been working since I was 5 years old. Feeding them 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm a 7th generation military, so pretty much, I come from a military family, and my dad was a big fan of getting my ass up at 0400 in the morning, making me do calisthenics, eat my breakfast, go out and feed the chickens, slop the hogs, and make sure the cows are fed before I went to school.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing with him was education, which that's why I'm here in New York right now, because my kids are going to a really, great school. I will not ditch that school. They've done really well up here and excelled. That's why I'm staying up here. Even though I'm miserable as shit.
You don't like New York. I don't blame you.
No, we don't like New York.
You're in Long Island now? Yeah.
Well, first off, when you say Long Island, I know how y'all pronounce that.
Long Island.
No. That's Brooklyn, Queens, Nassau, and Suffolk if you're going to be technical about it.
Yeah. That's true.
But Nassau, yes.
Yeah.
That shit drives me crazy.
Yeah. On Long Island, too. No one says in. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Long Island. and,
Long Island.
Don't forget you to get the coffee and get some water and don't forget to walk the dog.
That's a good one.
My wife always says, Chad, can you put your pants on?
Wait, your wife's from Long Island?
Yeah, she's from Williston Park.
Oh my gosh! They said there was a vote. I don't know what magazine or publication did it, but Long Island accent was voted the most disgusting and foul-sounding accent in the English
Boston?
language.
It's pretty rough up in Boston.
No, Boston was like somewhere in the middle. The number one was Australian and New Zealand.
I love Australian accents.
Yeah,
all right.
those two were the number one. But yeah, Long Island was dead last?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for your service because we all
Yes,
appreciate it,
absolutely.
especially 7 generations. I want to get into all of that. But
Yeah.
when it talked about your father waking you up early, your family, was it a big family? Do you have siblings? Are you the youngest, oldest? What?
Yes, I'm the baby of nine
Jesus.
in total.
Baby. Yep.
If you want to count like my adopted siblings, really, well, my oldest sister's 10 years older than me, so they were kind of out of the house by the time I grew up. Still had to do all that shit on the farm by myself. Fucking hate them.
We're all the youngest, actually.
Were you the only boy?
No. I have an older brother. I have 3 older sisters. Unfortunately, I'm down to 2. My one sister passed away from lupus.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, what are you going to do? You know, it's part of life.
Yep.
You know, it hurt, but she's in a better place.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, I try to look at it the positive ways. And, my family, they're pretty quirky, I should say, you know. Honestly, I always had trouble fitting in. I've always been kind of the black sheep of the family.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
Just looking at your face makes me say that. But, you know,
Thank you.
yeah. But honestly, in reality, you know, that's kind of why I joined the military. Well, 2 other reasons. I knocked up my girlfriend.
That's a good reason.
Yeah, that's a damn good
Yeah.
reason. You know, you're 17, need a job, and thinking with the wrong head.
Of course.
That's why I quit drinking Mad Dog.
Oh, so you impregnated your wife? Is she your wife now?
No, that was my first wife.
Oh, your first wife. But while you were on Mad Dog,
Yeah.
you're all fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah, but that makes sense. But you said you had an older brother, but your father, like, you were the only one that he had wake up early and taught to work on the
No.
farm?
My oldest brother, he was 15 years older than me.
Wow.
So he
you
did
know,
that dance
yeah,
already.
Yeah, he already did that shit. And you know, my parents were kind of strict. Would, you know, make sure that the house was clean when you got home from school. All your homework was done. Then you went to work in the field. Yeah, my dad didn't want me to grow up too much, but I unfortunately grew up too fast.
And your dad fought? Did your dad fight in the war?
He did, Vietnam.
Vietnam. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
what I was
man.
thinking.
So when did you, 2 questions actually. One, I know it must have been a pain in the ass while you were a kid being woken up at that time and go to work.
4 a.m. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But while you were in it, were you thinking that, or were you just kind of like following your dad's lead and happy that you were learning how to be a man at that age? Like, did you recognize at that point that he was like instilling certain values and standards in you that would take you a long way that most people don't get because they're spoiled fucking rotten?
Honestly, yes. I thank my dad every day for doing it because it instilled a work ethic that most people just don't have these
Yeah,
days.
that's right.
I've worked 28-hour shifts nonstop and still keep going because I just
You
can't
said 28. That's a full day plus 4 hours. Jeez.
Yeah.
That's more than you fast.
I pulled
Yeah.
3 shifts back to back. It didn't bother me one bit. Yeah, I was tired, but I just kept going.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't bother me one issue.
So when you got to boot camp, it was just like there wasn't even like that big of a transition.
No, not really. But boot camp was like, you know, putting a mousetrap on your nuts.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
can
let it
imagine.
snap down on you, you know. When I enlisted, I ended up in the infantry. I started off with the 1st and 50th down in Fort Benning. I fucking hate Georgia. It sucks. And if you go down there should still be handprints about 6 inches in the fucking clay that fit my hand.
Wow.
It's called the front lean and rest, and I did it a lot because I was a bit of a smart ass. See, I didn't like kids my age because they were all fucking idiots. I just preferred to be around old man all my life.
Yeah.
My grandpa called me an old soul. You know, I just hung around a lot of people who were old because they had a lot of wisdom.
Yeah. So you're like a sponge. You hung around the older people and you absorbed their wisdom, and it made you a little wiser.
Well, my dad always told me, he said, you hang around wise men, you become wise. You hang around fools, you're going to be destroyed.
Sounds like your dad was wise, or is wise.
He was a wise man, yes. He was.
Yeah. Was okay. Yeah.
And he was a great guy. He was an asshole sometimes, but he was funny in his own way. You know, everybody didn't quite get his humor, but
Like me, Joe.
Yeah. Well, what was it like? What was it like your childhood growing up on the farm as you got older? Because I want to get to when you enlisted, but I also want to touch a little bit more on your childhood being raised like that. Like, also, did you find out about your family's generational enlistment early? And was it something where it's like, oh wow, I'm proud of that. I want to do that right away, or that's something that like you learned to appreciate as you got older and wanted to enlist?
well, when I was younger, you know, it sucks. Every kid wants to go out and play and enjoy themselves, and while I guess you would call them acquaintances more or less instead of friends. Yeah, you know, they got to play, they got to ride their bikes around. When I was working, baling hay, riding the tractor around, feeding the cows and shit like that, you know. It sucks as a kid because you tend to grow up fast. But my dad always said, you know, life is going to be really hard. You have to grow up fast in order to conquer it, should I say, and, you know, face it head on. And I just wanted to kind of be a kid. That's why I'm kind of a big kid now, honestly.
Yeah.
As my wife says, I have a 12-year-old sense of humor.
Yeah, join the club.
Yeah.
You're at the right table, pal.
Yeah. It's, as I got older, you know, I found out about my family's generational military history, and, you know, I always wanted to be that guy in the woods stalking. And then, you know, you see those commercials back in the 90s where you're rappelling from helicopters and jumping from planes. You're like, fuck yeah, I want to do that shit.
Be all you can be.
So fucking
One man
badass.
army.
Yeah.
All right, so how old were you when you felt like you want to follow in their footsteps, though, for real?
I was about 13 years old. It felt natural for me, kind of, again, when it was in basic, it did feel natural for me to just wake up. I was awake before everybody even fucking... the drill sergeant used to come in and flick on the lights, and I was already making my fucking bunk.
That's
you know?
fucking nice. Yeah.
So 13, you realize, like, I want to follow in those footsteps. I want to do that. And what give me an idea of what, like, middle school and high school was like for you. Like, did you mesh well with other kids? Or you said, obviously, you're an old soul. So did you kind of, like, fucking go your own way, isolate?
Did you have time to do that?
Well, I was a big kid. I was 6'1", 250 from being farm, you know, country strength is a lot different than gym strength.
Yeah, real strength.
And I kind of just kept to myself. I was kind of the quiet kid. I did get along with everybody. I did make jokes, but only when I was invited to. Otherwise, I kind of sit by myself.
Did you play football?
No, we didn't have football.
You didn't have. Oh, yeah. How many people were in your school?
I graduated with a class of 32.
32. Wow.
Not bad.
Yeah.
We had somebody in here.
There was
Who was that? PJ, who had like 4 people.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was from, what was he from?
Ireland.
Ireland, yeah.
Fucking Irish.
That's right.
Fucking.
Yeah, that's new.
Were you drinking at a young age? Yeah.
My grandpa was a moonshiner.
Oh, fucking nice.
And
That's so
I
badass.
used to make it. We call it the creeper because I can make it 190 proof so smooth you can't taste the alcohol.
What? Really? White lightning, right?
Oh, you wish. This shit could run a car. My very first car my grandpa gave me was a 47 Studebaker with 3 on the tree.
Wow.
And I was 14 at the time. I ran down to the fucking still, got a load up, ran out of fucking gas on the way home, poured some shine in there. Cop pulled me over. He goes, "You know why I pulled you over?" I'm like, "Well, not really, sir. I was like, you know, my lights are working, everything's working." He goes, "Maybe with that 20-foot fucking flame for about 2 miles,
Oh,
sitting out of the fucking road on fire."
So your exhaust was blowing out fire?
Yeah, fucking fire. But the son of a bitch ran, man. I'm telling you.
And you drank that shit. Yeah, see, I would love to. I never had the opportunity to drink like real fucking moonshine.
I'll have to bring you some.
I can't. I'm sober 7 years now. You give me a fucking glass of moonshine, you won't see me for 3 months. I'll wake up one day in like the coast of Mexico with like hookers and cocaine, and I'd be in a little bit of trouble.
That's right.
Can I join you?
If that happens, you're the first one I'm fucking calling. All right?
Right.
Sounds like a good time.
Going to Tijuana, motherfucker. Let's roll.
So, give me an idea. From 13, you said you enlisted at 17, right?
Yes.
So at 13, you're like, I want to do this. And then was there anything else on your mind as far as, you know, kids, we get pressure. Oh, what are you going to be? What are you going to be? Was it just like, all right, I'm just going to get the fuck out of school and enlist and then I'll figure it out? Or you wanted to enlist because you wanted to get into something else?
Well, I was planning on enlisting, but again, you know, that's when one night drunk, fucking hooked up, partied too hard, and
Pregnant.
got the girl pregnant.
And were you
No.
dating her? Or this was just like
It was just a
hookup?
random fucking hookup. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah, of course.
Well, it turned into 13 years of marriage, but you know, what can I say?
Yeah, 13. Yeah, it's a long time. 13.
To me, that's a valiant effort.
You got to put the effort in because
Absolutely.
I'm the type of guy who, if I put my mind to something, I will not give up. I mean, my parents had me tested when I was a kid because, unlike most kids, but what did you do when you were 9, 10 years old.
I was fucking my Hulk Hogan doll.
Yeah, Joe was fucking anything with a hole. That was his thing. Yeah.
I was like a Bowie kind of. I was like that dog.
I was able to create weapons out of thin air and make them work.
What do you mean?
And
yo, that's sick.
I was very analytical and engineer mind, should I say.
Yeah,
If I could see it on TV or in my head, I could design it and build it from nothing.
So you're gifted. This sounds like genius level like gifts.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, there's my parents, because I was kind of a bit of a offset, should I say, as they say, back in the day, something ain't right about that kid.
Right.
Or as my dad said, that dog don't hunt right,
Right.
They took me and they put me to a doctor, and he discovered that I had an IQ of 159.
Genius. That's genius
And
level.
they bumped me up 2 grades because I was able to do trigonometry and shit like that with ease.
Yeah.
Yo, that's wild though.
Yeah.
So nobody taught you how to make any of this stuff or anything like that. It's
No.
just like they talk about Beethoven, he could just play.
Yeah.
But when did you realize that you were just operating on a higher level than everyone else? Was it when they
When
said
I
you had a
was
159? Okay,
7.
tell me about that.
When I said, okay,
Please.
I don't want the FBI coming to my fucking house.
I think maybe the statute of limitations is run out. I don't know.
They don't ever run out on certain
No,
things.
something like that.
Well, certain things they don't.
That's called terrorism. But this was, this was the 80s and early 90s, so you know what I mean?
Anything goes.
Yeah, anything goes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's crazy.
So if there's ever when the shit hits a fan and we fucking go underground, World War III type of
We're
shit.
calling Jet.
This is the guy
That's
you
right.
want around.
Yeah,
you. Yeah.
So, okay. So, and then at what age did your parents take you to the doctor?
I was 8. The doctor told me that, I was really bored in my hometown. Of course, there wasn't really any gifted programs that they could offer, that we had a school down in Natchitoches, but my parents just couldn't drive all that day. That's 60 miles away.
Yeah.
They they couldn't afford to drive all the way down there every single day to drop me off.
There and back, it's 120 miles. Every day, it's rough. Yeah.
The way it was, I always knew I was different in a sense, but I'm intelligent, but I'm stupid. I joined the infantry.
Yeah. So that's what I want to get back to you. But that's I don't know. That's just. It's ridiculous on so many different levels because you're already in a small town, right? You're already, not that you feel like an outcast, but your dad's making you work while these other kids are playing. He's instilling certain values and standards in you that you're going to take with you for the rest of your life, right?
Yeah.
And on top of that, you're at this genius level of kid where your mind works differently than everyone else. So
Right.
I can't even imagine how you felt compared to everybody else at that time and
Were you
moment.
bored? It sounds like these people would be boring to you.
Like teachers trying to teach you, all right, fucking get
right,
to
like
it.
enough.
Yeah, it was kind of like that. My all my kids are pretty much the same way. Like my 7-year-old, he gets bored real quick, and the kid's smart. I think he had a 137 IQ.
God bless
when we
him.
had him
Jesus.
tested.
But that's the problem. Like when you're much smarter than everyone around you. Like you grow up in a small town with a 160 IQ, and it's tough to get stimulated. You need to be mentally stimulated. And who the fuck's going to who's going to stimulate your brain? A teacher with a 97 IQ? No.
Like for instance, when I got my textbook at the beginning of the year, you know how back in the day you would have those textbook question sheets in the back of the chapter? Mm-hmm. I would go from September to around the middle of October, and I would have that entire book done completely.
Yeah.
Like I'd read the entire book and get it done.
Now, which subject would you be specifically talking
That would
about?
be history, math,
Right.
anything
Anything but English.
Anything but
anything
English.
but fucking English, man. I hated fucking English.
Wait, so when your dad asked you that and you said you wanted to go to college, did you have an idea? Like, did you want to be an engineer or you just wanted to go to college and figure it out?
Well, I always wanted to be an engineer.
Yeah.
I always took things apart. I was always building things. I was always be able to take things apart in my head, see how they worked, and then put them back together and see if they work better.
That's
So you could literally thought experiment in your head, like when you see something, like you were talking about before, and actually do it in your head, and then apply what you did in your head in the physical world.
Correct.
That is sick.
it's ridiculous.
That's sick.
I could see things in my head, and
It's like, no, this is how it should work.
Right.
this is how. Well, I again, as an engineer, I have made things work where people are like, "How the fuck did you make that work the way it is working?" I'm like, simple physics. Study physics, and a little bit of physics goes a long way.
Yeah.
I see it in my head. I want to do something with it, and I draw it out on paper, rough draft it, and then I just build it.
You see, a lot of people can do the half of that, right? A lot of people can imagine it, think it out, but very few people can take that and apply it actually in the physical. Like say, I imagined it, I thought of it, now I'm going to make this a real thing where other people can hold it and make it tangible.
Absolutely, because execution's involved, action's involved.
Right.
Everybody can have theories and thoughts.
Right.
No,
And, so as I graduated, my again, that one night it happened, and I was
impregnated.
Knocked her up.
Yep.
So thanks, Mad Dog and Boone's Farm. Thank you for your sponsor.
Wait, can I ask you something too? Because
we'll get you pregnant.
You ain't lying.
Yeah, but this is important too, because a lot of people get people pregnant, and it's an immediate, like, especially when you're young, abortion, this, that. The town you're from, was that even a question, or it was an immediate, even though this was a one night stand, it was just like, nope, I'm going to be a man, I'm going to take care of this kid. Well, was that even a thought that, maybe we don't have the baby?
No. I grew up Southern Baptist, and in the Baptist religion, I'm not a particular man-made religion person now. But,
no, I get that, me either.
Yeah, the way I was raised is you be a man, you take care of her, you take care of the baby. That's your kid. That's your responsibilities.
Right.
You be a man. Of course, I was like, I don't have a job. I don't have nothing. I don't know what to do. And then I went to the recruiter. The Army was not my first choice, actually.
As a seventh generation. Wow,
It wasn't my first choice. I was thinking somewhat smart. I was going to join the Air Force. A civilian job, military pay.
You mean the chair force?
Yeah, the chair force. And the way this happened, it was on a Saturday. I borrowed my dad's car because mine was shit and transmission dropped out, So I went over to the recruiting station and I knocked on the Air Force door. Nobody answered. So I said, fuck it. I walked over to the Navy or the Gavy. Knocked on their door, waited 2 minutes, fucking no one there. So I walked over to the fucking special needs.
What is that, Marines?
Yeah. The few and the proud, the ones that. But I went over to the Marines. I knocked on their door, and they wasn't fucking in. And just as I was about to walk over, fucking Army recruiter walks out. He says, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm looking to fucking join." He goes, "Not them fucking retards. Come on and join us." I'm
Really?
like, "Yeah, fuck it. I don't give a shit."
Yeah.
I walk in there. I took a practice ASFAB. And I scored a 92 on it.
What's ASFAB? What's that?
So an ASFAB is a test that it's just like a standard altitude test where the military sees your skills and what jobs can be available to you.
Right.
When I enlisted, you had to have at least a 32 to join the Marines and the Army. You
32 out of what?
32 out of 100.
Okay.
And then 35 to join the Navy, and then 40 to join the Air Force.
All right.
I made a 92. I could have any fucking job I wanted.
Yeah.
And that was just a practice test. On the actual ASFAB where they take you to the MEPS, the recruiter says, "Hey, man, you can do whatever the fuck you want, Right. He's like, "Let's take you to MEPS. Monday we'll take you to fucking MEPS. We'll get you all get up and fucking, get you rolling."
Yeah.
He's like, "Okay." So I went to the MEPS station in Shreveport, which was about an hour away. That's where the wonderful old ass fucking doctor from the Stone Age sticks a finger up your ass and tickles your booty hole.
Joe loves that.
Yeah, especially.
I usually got to pay extra for that.
Yeah, I know you seem like the one who enjoys it.
He's right.
Wait a minute, I thought we were going to make Justin out to be the gay one.
No, that's Joe now.
No.
It's all me. It's my hair. It's my hair product.
But they did it back then. They had those old fucking Windows 95 computers and shit. Yep. I took my test. I actually scored a 96 on it. Jeez. On the actual test. And, they were doing the processing and everything. They put me up in a hotel, which was fucking nice. I never got that kind of treatment,
Of course.
And they bring you back and they talk to you like, "What job do you want?" I'm like, "When can I leave?" He goes, "What do you want to do?" I don't really fucking know. I didn't know what they gave me a sheet
17 years old.
Yeah, they have a whole fucking career list that I could have picked from. I was like, "What about a fucking pilot or something? A helicopter pilot?" "Oh, that's a year and a half wait." I'm like, "Oh, fuck that shit." It's like, what is the closest fucking day I could leave? He goes, well, we got artillery and infantry. He's like, artillery, you can leave in 2 weeks. I said, what about infantry? He goes, about 4 days. I said, I take that.
Fucking infantry.
Yeah, I had to get a paycheck coming in, man. I got a kid on the way.
Kid coming.
You know, I wish I would have chose different and waited.
Yeah.
But
you didn't have a choice.
I was just a scared, stupid fucking kid. And my parents signed over. You know, my dad signed me over.
How old were you?
I was 17. You have to have your parents sign you.
Now, aren't there Army engineers?
Yeah, but there's a weight on a lot of things for, you know, your BCT, or they call it BT now, basic training.
Right.
We always called it BCT, basic combat training, you know, back in the day.
Right.
And Chet, sorry, real quick. How long was this after you found out she was pregnant? Like 3 months after? Immediately?
No, it was maybe about a month.
Okay.
About a month.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was like, by the time I get done with my fucking training and shit like this, you know, I'll be having a nice steady paycheck and start saving a little money, you know, for when the baby's born. Then I got, you know, I can have the military. He could be born at the time. My oldest boy.
Yeah.
We didn't know what it was. Could be born on a military base, and, you know, we're set. So they did add into my contract that I had airborne in my contract. That's one of the things I told them, like, one of the fucking coolest things was remembering those commercials. I said, can I go airborne? They go, yeah, we'll put that in your contract. They did all that. And within about 4 days, I was being shipped off to Fort Benning. What a wake-up call.
Where's Fort Benning?
Fort Benning is in Georgia.
Okay. Oh, Georgia. We hate Georgia. Yeah,
Why? What do you mean
Georgia.
by that wake-up call?
My dad sat down and told me, you can visualize when somebody tells you something, but you really don't know how it's going to be until you actually go through it yourself.
That's right. Walk a mile in another man's shoes.
Yeah,
Right.
you know, and it's an OSUT program, one station unit training, so you kind of do your basic training and your AIT at the same time, advanced individual training. So first 3 weeks is like your breakdown phase, red phase, where you go from being a civilian, getting used to military life, which is a real kind of kick in the face because they're fucking hard on you. They wheel you from the wheelhouse on the cattle cars. They used to have cattle cars back then. Nowadays they don't have shit. The fucking pussies coming in on a fucking luxury bus. Like they just hoarded your ass in. You got your PT gear, you got your fucking gear. You did all your.
What year was this?
This was 2001.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, before 9/11?
Yes.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. And you go through what they call processing. And, you get all your shit, your gear, your whole 9 yards, your Alice pack, your fucking duffel bag, your bullshit gear, your helmet, your boots, your uniforms, PT, and then you go buy your shit. After I got all this, we spent the night last in one barracks, and then they sent us off to basic training. And that was a wake-up call because I was the last one on the cattle car. And next thing I know, when they open up the fucking door, I get this big burly motherfucker with a mustache rip me off like I'm a fucking piece of paper and fucking throw me down on the ground, screaming at me, fucking yelling at me. We call them Smokies because, they wear a Smokey the Bear hat.
Oh.
Yeah. And they'll smoke your ass until you're fucking buff.
And this was a drill sergeant?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know whose drill sergeant it was at the time because you have 4 platoons. And you're assigned to a platoon. Like I was 4th Platoon, Charlie Company, 1st 150. That's who you're going to be assigned. But red phase was like a kick in the ass because when you get up to the barracks, and you're looking, you got this fucking line going in the center that's called the kill zone. And you have the fucking beds right there on the right, or the bunks. You got your lockers in the back and shit like that. Of course, we had the fucking top. So, take your fucking boots off before you even walked in. God forbid you don't take your fucking boots off and you stepped on their floors, you got your ass smoked then. You look at them funny, they fucking smoke you. Like, it was a rough, like a wake-up call, you know what I mean? It's like, this is no longer civilian life. You're not going to have it easy no more.
But there's a method to this madness. They're not just doing this to be mean. They're preparing you.
Yeah, they prepare you.
Right.
For combat,
right?
They're preparing you to be military life,
right?
Like if you fucked up, you would get a mop and bucket and go mop the fucking port when it was raining. You had to mop up all the water when it was raining.
Well, that's a tough mop. Yeah.
Man, I am a master fucking mopper. I got an expert badge in fucking mop and buffing. But the first 3 weeks, red phase. A little bit kicking the ball. By the end of red phase, week 3, The drill sergeant somewhat kind of laxed off of you and expected you to do your own thing. On Sundays, though, everybody, even the atheists, went to church because that was the only fucking time you didn't get yelled at. They were not allowed to yell at you. They wasn't allowed to fucking come in and bother you, you know. Yeah. But like blue phase, or red, white, and blue phase is what it's known as. White phase is more you're training, but you're also going to school at the same time. You know, you do your training, you do your field ops, and you do all this other shit. Back when I joined, they still did bayonets. You know, they don't do bayonets no more. We were shooting with iron sights and shit like that. You know, it was not this fucking technological bullshit they got today. Yeah, it kind of helps, but a fucking EMP hits, that's it, you know.
So how long were you in basic training for? And
so I did basic training for 9 weeks.
Okay.
And then I went to AIT for another 4 weeks, which is fucking grand because that's where you kind of learn your infantry tactics. You know, you learn infantry school is a different school, but you learn your AIT about infantry, basic infantry maneuvers, field ops, stuff like that, grid maps. You know, learn to read shit, like unlike the lieutenant who would get you lost.
But this is all like kind of not, I don't want to say going through the motions, right? But you're not expecting to be deployed anywhere for war or anything like that. You're in the Army. You're trying to obviously go through the process, get your degree, do all that stuff, right?
Yeah, well, I kind of like the Army. I didn't like the Army. I like the fuckers I served with because you kind of build a bond, a brotherhood that never leaves you.
That's right, yeah.
You know, I still get along with every veteran that I ever see. You know, we don't like each other, but fuck them. Yeah. We like each other. We pick on each other. We're the only ones allowed to pick on each other.
Like brothers do.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
There's a bond there that just, I cannot describe to you that whatever, unless you've been through it yourself.
Right.
Now, when 9/11 happened, jump school, I was there. We heard about it. You know, they paused it for like a good day. We found out. And I remember the instructor coming up to us and saying, you know, we're going to war. We were stunned. We were shocked. I know some people who shot themselves in the foot to get out.
Where were you also?
Really? I was in Fort Campbell.
Okay, you were in Fort Campbell.
And they shot their foot. They did anything to try to get out because they didn't want to go to war. They just joined the Army because they didn't really have nothing else. You know, maybe they didn't care. I don't know. I don't really know what would go through a person's mind. But I know somebody who blew their fucking big toe off. Yeah. Shot himself right in the fucking foot on the range.
Yeah.
But the fucking crazy people out there. And they didn't want to go to war. It's like I've seen people fucking drink bleach to get out. You know, they did not want to go to war, and I'm like, "Fuck this shit."
You wanted to go to war?
I didn't want to go to war,
but you knew.
But I was pissed. Yeah. You know, I mean, I felt. I guess my family's blood in me. I guess as an American, you know, I was like, "Fuck them. We're gonna go fuck them up." You know, we're gonna go get some payback.
Yeah.
For me, I was like, "Fuck this shit." What happened? Why? My biggest question was why. You know. Why did it happen? Well, what was the purpose of it? Like analytically and logically thinking, I couldn't understand it. You know, you're trying to wrap your head around it. And I'm sure it was a lot for you New Yorkers as well that it's still somewhat to understand because a lot of people, when we talk about the subject, you know, it's a very touchy subject. And I was like, oh shit, we're going to go to war. Fuck it. You know, if I'm going to go to war, I'm going to go to war. I'm going to do what I got to do. You know, I got to come home. I'm going to fucking kill whoever I got to kill to fucking come home.
Right.
And my unit was being deployed and I got called back, which is weird because there was about 17 of us that got called back. And the first sergeant comes in. He's like, I want to see y'all in my office. So we go into the office and, you know, we see the CO and all this and good thing. He's like, you guys are going to go different kind of training. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, well, we found that y'all are top tier in your classes, you know, your ASVAB scores, your shit like this, you know. We're going to send y'all to RIP, which is we call it Ranger Indoctrination Program.
Oh, shit, Army Ranger?
Yeah.
Wow. That's big leagues.
And, we are the best.
Yeah.
Well, you got RIP and RASP. There's two different things. RIP is kind of like a leadership school. We went to RIP, which is like a swift kick in the balls, you know, with a spike boot. You know, it was tough, but it was manageable to a certain extent. If you make it through RIP, they can kind of give you an option. If you make like your first class, second class, third class, you can go to the RASP where you get your scroll. That's where you actually become a ranger. And when you become a ranger, that's a whole different fucking category of ball games. So that being...
It's the elite. That's like the equivalent of Navy SEAL in the Army.
Navy SEAls are pussies.
Right. See, there you go. Yeah.
I knew that was
exactly. Yep.
Nah, you want to meet some fucking tag man is what they're called. Okay. Y'all know them as Delta. Like those motherfuckers are the baddest of the bad.
Delta Force?
Yeah. You don't hear about them. There's a reason you don't hear about them. Motherfuckers, Navy SEALs, you hear about them all the time. Oh yeah, you did this, you did that, yeah.
Frogman.
The Frogman. But I know a couple people who are Navy SEALs, good people, but we rip on each other, Yeah. But Delta was one of the baddest motherfuckers I ever met, and I would never want to fucking cross that guy, ever. Like, he looks like a school teacher. Okay, he looks like a normal person, school teacher, but this guy will rip your fucking spine out and beat you with it.
You don't see it coming.
No, He's fucking fast, too. They actually had I think it was back in the 90s, they had a test. Delta took over the White House. They did a test on that, and Delta was able to take over the fucking White House.
Jeez.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Wow. But anyway, back to the training. And then, we got through RIP, and at that time, I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for war. Then, your whole head starts to think, am I ready to die? Am I ready to do this? Am I really want to do this shit? And then I got selected for RASP. Yeah, that was fucking fun. That was real fucking fun. Imagine if you're lucky to get first, to what they call coal range. You got introduction, then you got a nice 40K hike to a coal range where your training really starts. And imagine if you get there first, you get like 30 minutes of rest. Second, 15. Third, you're right on past through to the next fucking phase. There's only two types of rangers. There's a hungry ranger and there's a tired ranger. And yeah, I was always the fucking hungry one. But imagine like getting very little sleep, fucking eating 3,000 calories, burning 10,000 calories. I lost weight. I lost almost 20 pounds. Yeah, this shit was real, It was a real fucking hell.
Right.
And then mountain phase in Florida is what they call it. I won't go too into detail as much training-wise, but Florida is probably the best part of it because you're right there at the fucking end. And
when you say the end, you mean you're heading out to...
Yeah, if you didn't get recycled.
Right.
Yeah, you just keep getting recycled if you fail. You'll go back to the fucking beginning. Like, right. I know a guy who got put all the way back to the fucking beginning to start all this shit over again. It was fucking crazy. I'll give you a prime example here. I have an old photo here, this was me in Afghanistan. I know the listeners can't see it, but...
Oh, wow, yeah. It's a photo of him in Afghanistan with full military gear on one knee.
And then this was me when I was just getting out.
Oh, wow. Now, you have a lot of... Like, what are those called? Those, like, colors on the uniform?
It's called a rack.
It's called your rack. Okay.
Yeah, it's
I always see, like, generals and everything. They got these colors on their uniform.
Generals can give themselves fucking racks.
Oh, okay.
That's not right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll start from the bottom going on left. So you have your overseas ribbon when you've been deployed. Always your right arm, you'll have a deployment patch. If you don't see anybody with anything over there, they haven't been deployed. Left side is always your unit patch. But the overseas ribbon, and then you get a numeral on it on how many deployments you did. The next one is what we call the rainbow ribbon. So the rainbow ribbon right there, you get that as soon as you get out of basic training. Like everybody gets the rainbow ribbon. It's like a participant trophy. And then you have the NCO ribbon, where you have to go to a school for that.
Non-commissioned officer?
Yes, non-commissioned officer. And I got that. And this is your Global War on Terrorism. And then the Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary. Then you have the Iraq Campaign Medal, the Afghanistan Campaign Medal, the National Defense, which they stopped doing in 2020, if I remember y'all heard about that, right? So the war in Afghanistan ended, and they stopped giving out so you get a National Defense Medal when you're at war.
Right.
So somehow, where down the fucking line, I don't know how I got this. I think I was on vacation or R&R, but I got a good conduct ribbon. It means I was a good boy for 3 years.
Holla.
No trouble. And then I have my commendation, my Army Commendation Medal, and I have a Purple Heart, which has 2 bronze oak leaves on it, which means I've been wounded 3 different times in 3 different battles.
So you're a highly decorated soldier.
I'm a fucked up soldier.
Right.
Well, that's what I want to get to because there's a lot, and we could talk to you forever because there's just so much. And some of our guests we're trying to get back on a second episode because one, it's just interesting in general, and I love hearing people's stories, the struggles they went through, their mental capacity through the struggle, right? Like you talked about, like the conversations you're having in your head, you're there, you're fully involved, but you're like, fuck, am I really ready to do this? Like that's just an honest like feedback of where you're at that time. Now, the last part you said you were in Florida, right? Ready to get deployed. Is it still a question mark if you get deployed or not?
No. That's called Florida phase. Once you graduate RASP, then you're assigned to a regiment.
Okay.
I was assigned to the 275, which is up in Fort Lewis McChord, up in Washington. I was there for around about 3 weeks before I was deployed.
Washington State?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're there for 3 weeks before you deployed. And then when you get deployed, what's that like? Could you bring us through like getting deployed? I know that you were in a lot of different like big battles, like
right. So
Baghdad, Ramadan, like all that stuff. So take us through all that.
Okay, so you have to have a fucking mental mindset. You really have to say, I'm coming home. I'll be straight out honest. I didn't serve my country. All right, I didn't do what I did for my country. I did it for my brother who was beside me. That's who I did it for. Because if you have any inclination that, you're doing it, you're here for the war and all this shit, no. You're going to die. Like, you had IEDs everywhere. They'll get you. But you have to think about yourself and your brother that are there with you. You're there to keep their ass alive, and they're there to keep your ass alive. That's as simple as that. There's no other way to think about it. You're not serving your country. You're not pistoling about, you're not fucking jacking off or some bullshit like that. Yeah, we had fun at certain phases, and, we'll go with that later, but...
So it's not like some rah-rah shit where you're running around going on
No, everything's strategically planned.
Right.
You have certain targets. We were designed taking out intel. We would breach and fucking take out bomb makers and shit like that, We had very specific targets we were going to be after.
You were an Army Ranger, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Precision. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Precision is, God bless this 275. I love them assholes. But no, they're all great guys. A lot of them crazy as fuck. I can't really. I say I didn't come home with the mental capacity of trying to be labeled in. I got shot in the leg. I went home, recuperated, managed to pass PT, get back in, and then I got shot in the shoulder. I recuperated from that, and then I got shot in the chest, which I lost my left lung. That's where I got my last one, and that's what did it for me. I couldn't pass.
But you wanted, each time you got wounded in combat, you went home and recuperated, but your mentality was, I got to get back there because I got to be with my brothers.
That's all I could think about.
Yeah, wow.
I didn't give a fuck about myself. Right. I wanted to be back there for them.
Right,
That's all I could think about was being back there to help them.
Yeah.
I don't want to fail. You feel like a fucking failure when you're not there with them.
So when other people are shooting their fucking big toe off to get out of there,
right.
You get shot in the line of what you're doing. And what is there like a feeling of guilt, almost like being home, like fuck, I should be with my brothers, like
restlessness.
It is.
Yeah, right.
You feel guilty and you fucking hate it. It's like I fuck this shit. I'm gonna get better. I just got to get back out there. I got to get back out there. You got that mentality, like I don't want to let them down. I don't want to fucking let them down. I can't let them down. But when they start processing you out, or what we call med boarding, which medical discharge or whatever discharge they're going to give you, you feel hopeless. You really do. And you can fight it, you can appeal it, but no matter how you look at it, it doesn't seem like you're going to win. When they made up their minds, they've made up their minds. You're getting the fuck out. I read articles where people lost their fucking leg and went back in. I'm like, man, I lost a lung. I don't want to go back in, but you got to pass a standard physical fitness test in order to do all this shit. And I just couldn't do it because I couldn't breathe as much as I used to. You know, I couldn't inhale. I couldn't run like I used to.
But you tried. You tried to get back there.
I tried. I really did.
See, that's courage.
Yeah.
That's what courage is. Yeah.
I really did try, but as some people would say, you know, karma saw different. I saw that the good Lord didn't want me to go back. So, you know, somewhere, some cosmological event stopped me from going back, which hurt me deeply. And, you know, that's when I got out, I started drinking heavily, really bad, like really, really, really bad.
Was this because of the guilt of not being with your brothers?
Yes, the guilt of not being with them, not being there for them, basically. Right. You know, that's the biggest survivor's guilt as well, has caught you.
It's got to be hard too when you're living at that level to come back to like just a regular civilian life.
You don't. You
can't. How can you?
You learn to cope with dark humor, or you shoot yourself. Yeah. And unfortunately, I've had a lot of brothers in themselves because of guilt, drinking, problematics, you know. Sorry.
So don't apologize.
No, yeah, I say to myself every day, you know, even though I fucking hate it, and I say, yeah, I'm still above the ground, you know, I just keep going because I keep telling myself, you know, someone's got to remember them. I have to. Because if I don't tell their story, no one will. You know, and that's the only guilt, a survivor's guilt, as you would call it, that I have is every day I wake up, wonder why it was me, why me, why the fuck am I here, you know, fucking dealing with it. And you see the shit that you got going on now, like what the fuck did I even really fight for?
Yeah.
You know,
come home to.
What did they die for? What was the purpose of what we did? You know?
I'm sure your father felt the same way when he came back from Vietnam.
He did. And, you know, my father went to jail when he stepped off the plane because a hippie spit on him. Yeah. He broke his nose. So, but, you know, honestly, to this day, I still hate myself that I failed. I've learned to live with it a little bit more every day, but I still hate myself because I feel like I failed in so many levels. That's my fault. You know, it's like I live with that guilt, and I'm going to live with that guilt for the rest of my life. I can accept to a certain extent that some divine intervention stopped me for a reason. What it was, I don't know.
Well, you're a father.
I am.
That could be part of it.
It could be. Yeah. You know, it could be. It's sometimes you try to make sense of things. And some things in this universe just can't make sense. You just, no matter how you look at it analytically, logically, sublogically.
Well, I gave up trying to understand God's plan.
Well, that's why acceptance is so important.
Yeah, I trust it.
It's hard to get there. It's easier said than done.
Yeah.
But the acceptance.
No, acceptance is the hardest thing, especially when you go through what you've been through with your boys. You know, yeah, we had our jokes. Like, we always used to joke, you can't be, you know, infantry unless you have at least 3 DUIs and been married and divorced from a stripper or something, you know. But...
See, you mentioned, helped you get through this was dark humor, right?
Dark humor and my dad.
And your dad.
Before he passed away. My dad kind of helped me transition back into civilian life. I had a really hard time. I tried killing myself. It didn't work out. That was many, many years ago when I was drinking really heavily, you know, drunk one night and decided to end it, put a gun to my head and pulled the trigger and the damn thing didn't go off.
Yeah, that's God.
So, yeah, you know, I tried, but I failed. And then I felt even worse because I felt like I failed. I can't even do that shit right. Mm. And my dad found out about it, and he beat the living shit out of me, of course. Mm. Woke me up and sobered me up, you know, put me through an intensive program, his program. We call it the William Riles program. Mm. fucking made me push hay bales up and down a hill until I fucking sweated it out. And if I was drinking or went to jail or something like that for fighting, he would take me out fucking back in Louisiana summertime, fucking 102 degree, 92% humidity, fucking pushing a hay bale, round hay bale that weighs about 800 pounds up a fucking slight hill. It's not exactly easy. You ain't doing it, all right? I don't give a shit how you do it, but he would stand there and watch me until I sobered up or sweated it all out, one. And it was just like a routine. And what broke me was my kids, when I saw their face in disappointment.
How many kids do you have at this point?
I had two.
Two, okay.
Two. And to see the disappointment in their face really hit hard with me. So I got my shit together, and I got in a different way of thinking. And I was like, I got to do better for them. I got to do better for myself. And my first wife was from England. And we moved back over because her parents wasn't doing well. So we moved back over there. And, I got my shit together over there. So I went to school, paid my way with the GI Bill, and, fucking worked my way as a paramedic through college. And got my degree in mechanical and architectural and structural engineering as well, sub-minor in mechanical.
It's not easy getting an engineering degree.
No, and then I worked for Kier Construction until Theresa May got in power, and then she rescinded my visa and kicked my ass out. Yeah, they were kicking a lot of people out over there. Yeah. So, yeah, it was fucking crazy because I never broke any laws. I didn't do anything wrong.
This was England?
Yeah. So, we were also in the process of getting a divorce. So, I don't think that helped. We tried. No matter how much we tried, we just...
This was 13 years after 13 years of marriage?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
and 2 kids?
Yeah.
How old are the kids at this point?
My son was 14,
First
my
son.
oldest, and then I had my daughter who was 8, and then 7, and my newborn who was like 8 months.
Wow, so third kid.
Yeah.
You had a lot to live for.
Yeah, and then I came home, and I have a house in, Louisiana. I was living, started in hotels, because apparently people over here don't recognize a foreign degree.
But, I didn't know that. Wow,
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
I started off in hotels and as a baseline engineer, or a baseline maintenance mechanic, as they call them. And they realized that I could put pumps back together, rebuild ACs and shit like that pretty easily.
Yeah.
You're overqualified.
Build RPGs.
Well, yeah. So I
Maybe we shouldn't have this guy fixing air conditioners.
Right.
Yeah,
a little overqualified there, buddy.
Let's get him some responsibility.
No, within a year and a half, I made supervisor. And then around about my 2 years, 3 months in, I made chief engineer. And I stayed chief engineer. And then I met my wife up here. We were through a pen pal site. So, here we are. And then
Your new wife?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she came down, lived with me for a little bit, and I knocked her ass up.
And of course, you did a little mad dog?
No, actually, I was sober. But we labeled doggy style out the position.
Always comes back to the dog. Yeah.
So, of course, I did the right thing. I married her. And she came back up here for her brother's graduation. I won't go too much into that story, but that's how I ended up here. And I started off I stayed in hotels. Again, I started at the bottom of the rung, worked my way up. Year and a half, I was supervisor. And then I was chief engineer. Stayed chief engineer for a while. And then I went to work in Queens. I won't say what company, but I was with the Boulevard Building in Queens. Y'all know that?
The what?
The Boulevard Building.
Mm-mm.
It's the old watch factory.
Mm-mm.
Anyway.
Now, what year is this now, roughly?
Yeah, this was 2021.
Okay,
Yeah.
This is more recent. Okay.
Yeah. And I worked hotels for the longest time.
Right.
And honestly, I wanted to get out of it because, hotels, I know all the dirty little secrets that they won't tell you. And I will not stay in a fucking hotel room. I can't.
But they got like peepholes with cameras?
No, the fucking cameras ain't the worst thing. Like, for instance, okay, when you wash your sheets, you see those pretty white sheets? They bundle all the sheets from the day into just a few washers. it doesn't always get washed like you think it's getting washed.
I knew I smelled semen.
It's disgusting.
Well, you're used to tasting.
Yeah, come on, Joe. Joe, you smell semen
Like
anywhere you go.
Has our guest been following us for the last 20 years?
He's an Army Ranger.
I thought we
wouldn't
never
put it
met him
past
before.
him.
What the fuck?
He comes prepared. He did his recon.
Well, for me, it's always been about, putting your best foot forward. I always put the hard work in.
That's
My
right.
dad instilled that in me. But I'm an overachiever. I tend to do more than I really need to do. People tell me slow the fuck down,
Well, you request more from yourself.
I set the bar too high for myself.
Yeah.
Well, you came from a small town with 400 people. You became an Army Ranger and a fucking engineer.
Yeah.
So I'd say you definitely played your hand well.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's like I teach my kids now. For instance, my kids, you can give them an allowance. And then I take a certain percentage out of that allowance, say Social Security, disability, teach them. And then at the end of the year, I let them do a tax return, and then I can tell them you can keep it or you can roll it over.
That's fucking
Yeah,
genius.
but I just got fucking chills from that.
Yeah, it's amazing. They don't teach that shit to kids.
No, the schools don't teach it. And you know what? Parents are lazy sometimes
Yep.
and don't take it upon themselves
Yep.
to instill that in their children as well.
Yeah.
That is so fucking powerful
Yep.
because he's teaching them responsibility, accountability, and freedom.
Yeah.
Like-
Taxes, farming, and hunting should be something every American knows by the time they graduate high
Fishing.
school. And fishing, yeah.
Well,
every American should know that when they graduate.
That I also teach my kids with credit cards, like whatever you spend, you got to pay me back. So I teach them fiscal responsibilities. I try to prepare my kids the best for the future. My oldest is a doctor in the Air Force now.
God
Wow.
bless.
And, I'm proud of him. He wanted to keep on to the family tradition.
Do you call him the chair for us
Wait a
or
minute.
not?
So what is that?
Yeah.
What is that? Nine generations now? With your son? You were eight.
No,
Eight.
I
You were
was
seven.
I was
Seven,
and then
eight.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So-
Dude, that's amazing.
Yeah, he wanted to keep the family leniency, but I told him when I sit there and talk to him like a man, I said, go to the Air Force or go to the Coast Guard. I said, go to the Coast Guard. They get the money, the guns, and the coke. I wish I joined the Coast Guard.
That's true. They do. Now they're blowing up the coke ships.
Yeah, I wish I joined the Coast Guard.
Yeah.
I would have been like fucking Scarface.
Oh, Tony Montana. Yeah.
that was good shit.
Wait, Chad, question for you. I definitely want to go back because you said so much stuff. But when your son comes up to you and tells you he wants to go to the Air Force, is there anything in you that's like, after all you saw and all you did, like, let's cut that shit right now? Or you're like proud of him, happy, and at the end of the day, you're raising a man who makes his own decisions? Like, what was that like?
So when he came up to me and he told me what he wanted to do, his plans for the future, he's like, I'm going to do 20 years, retire, get a pension, start a private practice. I'm like, hey, go for it. It means that I did something right, that I raised him right, that he hated me as a teenager, but, most teenagers hate their fucking parents.
If you're doing a good job.
Good.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've told my wife 1,000 times, I'm like, I'm their father. I'm not their friend.
That's it.
That's right.
I'm not here to be their friend. Friends will come and go, but you're only going to get one of me. Like, I was an asshole. Yeah, you can call me an asshole, but I taught discipline and instilled it. If you meet my 7-year-old, he'll go, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, no, sir.
It's something we got away from because somewhere along the line, like parents became people pleasers. Like I have to be, I want my kid to like me and be a friend. And everything's a sacrifice to me.
Your
in
friends
this
can
world.
come to the house and drink.
Yeah, but
and,
either you could be a friend now in the short time where they want you to be, right? They're teens, very short moment. And a lot of those kids wind up not respecting their parents later.
Right.
Or you can instill this kind of discipline, these life lessons. And the sacrifice is they're not going to like you very much in this short amount of time. But as they get older, because life is fucking hard and they appreciate what you instilled in them, when they look at their other friends, they're a bunch of spoiled little bitches who don't know which way to fucking turn. And you have these tools that was given to you by your father, mother, whoever it was that you might not like for this short amount of time. You can't help but love, respect, and appreciate them for the rest of your life.
Oh, yeah.
Because you understand, thank God they prepared me for this life and then it fucking instilled this victim mentality that things just happen to me without control.
Yes,
Well, I
yes.
mean, I allowed my kids to be kids more than I was. I wasn't as hard on them as my father was me or my grandfather was on me. But I was still stern in my discipline. Like, my kids know that I don't even have to say nothing. I'll just look at them.
That's it.
And they know that I ain't playing with them.
Because I'm all into progress, right? But I don't think we should ever get away from a level of respect, right? How you treat others,
Well, I
how you
think
treat yourself.
A lot of people confuse progress with actual regress.
Well,
yeah.
So I'll give you this. You know, I mean, I told my kids, I don't care whether you're gay or whatever you want to call yourself. You're my child. I'm going to love you. I may not like a fucking thing about you, but I'm always going to love you. There's a lot of my family. I don't like them. Nothing about them I like. They're fucking retarded. Mm-hmm. But I love them, and I will protect them to a certain extent. My mother, I'll kill anybody for her. But then again, this woman, she will kill you before I even get to you. I love her, but she can instill the fear of God in people. You know, she still scares me today. She's 75 years old, and she scares the hell out of me. I fuck with her a lot. Like
That's that dark sense of humor. Yeah.
No. She'll go like, I say, I'll put my foot in your ass. I'm like, you can't reach that high.
Because she's 5'2".
Yeah, and
See, this is why I get upset when people find
Offended?
dark humor offensive.
Yeah, but you know what?
It's like, fuck you. You don't understand. Some people need this dark humor to help them get through life. Like, fuck you. You don't like it? Change the fucking channel.
Those people have never been through a hard time in their life.
Right.
Because anyone who's been through tragedy or hard times,
Right.
like sometimes you're either fucking laughing or you're crying.
Right.
And sometimes you have to joke about the darkest shit because that's the silver
Right.
lining.
I come up like some off of the wall shit. Like I remember one time, and my wife, she goes, we've been together for so long. There's nothing you can do or say that would surprise me. So I'm reading my book. I love reading. I don't really watch much TV, and if I do, it's like Gunsmoke, MASH.
Love Gunsmoke.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm reading my book, and
Marshall Dillon.
and I look over at my father-in-law because I'm in his house, and he looks at me, nods his head because I ain't going to say nothing impolite. He's ex-military too, so except for he was an officer. I closed my book and I told her, I said, honey. I said, I think your mom's hot. And if I had the opportunity, I would fuck her 5 ways to Sunday. I said, I would bring a wheelchair because she would need one when the time I'm done with her.
This is hilarious.
And she's like, okay, I rescind my statement. So
That's
I
right.
had won an argument with a woman and featured the impossible.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
But
so,
go ahead.
No, I was just. This is just fucking unbelievable. This story that you have.
There's just so much. And I want to go back to
we
something.
can't go forever though.
I know,
Yeah.
I know, but exactly. So,
Yeah.
can we go back to this real quick if you can, and then I want to hit on a couple of things. One, if you don't mind, because we glanced over you getting shot in the arm, the leg, and then losing your lung, and I don't know how much you can talk about or want to talk about, like reliving those moments and stuff like that, but also. I'd kind of like to touch on that, on if you can, what happened. And also, we have a depiction in our head of what war's like, right? Based on fucking TV, movies, and a bunch of other shit.
It's a bunch of bullshit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And these people that, for some reason, they think our soldiers who go over there, who have the intentions of, like you said, serving your country, doing the right thing, serving your brothers, right? And being, I don't want to say played in like a chess match, but again, you're told what to do and you're going there with the intention to help. And then you come out and you're met with this backlash of people that don't even know what the fuck's going on, what you're dealing with, what you're sacrificing. And I want to let the audience and people know, coming from somebody who's been there, not some fucking news reporter, not some fucking jerk-off director who's fucking getting the CIA or whoever to like check mark what they put on films, but from someone who's actually lived it with the experience of what that's like, coming home after all that. Kind of let the people know of what movies portray and what it's like really being there. And really going through that, like getting shot, seeing what's happened to your brothers, like the difference between what Hollywood wants us to see and what's actually going on. So maybe they get some level of fucking respect in their head for the men and women who serve the country.
Yes.
Okay, so like I said, I'm not much on TV or movies, should I say.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, Black Hawk Down is probably the closest thing I can describe it as realistic as possible.
Black Hawk Down.
Yeah, it's like what warfare is like. You're scared, all right? You're scared.
That's right.
But you can't let them down. That's your mentality. It's kill or be killed. You're walking around the corner and you wonder if you're going to die today sometimes, but you can't have that mentality as well. It's like you're going to get this shit done. Fuck these motherfuckers. And, the fucked up thing about war, especially with the way they portray it. American Sniper is very close too. That's also very close. You would have kids with fucking bombs strapped to them. You know, you'd be handing it. We used to hand out the water. You know, you would hand out water. You would see convoys handing out water and shit. You would see like fucking blow up in the crowd and shit, and take a couple soldiers with them.
Suicide bombers.
Yeah, and you know when we were going door to room to room, kicking in doors and shit. Everybody's an enemy. Nobody is there. I lost a guy because of that. Because my decision to spare them,
right,
and he got shot in the back.
That's what people don't understand.
That's what they don't see. That's what they don't understand. Is because war is hell.
Yeah.
And, you know, who said that? There was an author that said that. Or you have your moments. Like I remember sitting in the FOB with the forward operating base. You know, mortar attacks coming in, shit like that, and you'd be in the shower like. I can remember getting slapped across the face with a dick because a guy comes flying out of the shower and jumped in the fucking bunker with us, and his dick slapping everybody in the face. You don't really remember the mortaring, but you remember the dick slapping you in the face. Like, you motherfucker, I'm going to cut it off. But
General William Tecumseh Sherman.
That's it. That's it.
War is hell.
And then, you know, certain sounds... You kind of learn, I wouldn't say master it, but you learn to live with it. Like certain sounds like a car backfiring and shit like that can trigger it.
Trigger the memory, sense memory.
Yeah, and certain smells like...
Yep.
To this day, I can't stand the smell of burning tires or burning rubber because I've seen it too much where... I've just seen too much that I just don't want to remember.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah, it's tough.
Too much bullshit. You want me to tell you how to end a war?
Yeah.
Send a politician over there with his weapons, see how fast that war starts.
That's right.
Or one of his kids.
Yeah. No, fuck his kids. Yeah. Send him. He started that shit.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I never understood the stories my grandpa and my dad told me. Like, my dad really never talked about it. Neither did my grandfather. But, you know, my grandfather was in Bastogne, and, you know, he told me a story. It was beautiful and sunny one day, and the next thing, you know, Mother Nature pulls the fucking switch and snow's on the ground. And he said he went to go take a piss, and he was fucking breaking the piss off. Well, I don't know if the story's true or not, but, you know, it's Grandpa. And he was a sergeant, and he had a Thompson in one hand. He was pissing behind a tree, and he heard some footsteps. It was scouting. It was some SS boys. He fucking held his dick in one hand and fucking Thompson in the other and shot him dead, robbed him blind. I actually still have some of that stuff that they got.
World War II SS Nazis, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thompson submachine gun.
Yeah, 45. It was a closed bolt. So a lot of these things were direct pin, so they stayed open, and then they would slam fire, basically.
That's a Tommy gun, right?
Yeah. Chicago typewriter, just a shorter version, shorter barrel. My dad told me stories, you know, about certain stories, not all of it. He was there during the Tet Offensive, and he was in Ripcord, which was a clusterfuck for the 101st. You know, it was a real bad situation. For me, they know that they can't beat America strategically, like power-wise. They have to use guerrilla tactics. And when you're fighting an enemy that does not care about fucking rules and you have to follow them, it's not warfare, it's one-sided.
Unfair advantage.
Yeah, it's one-sided. Plus they got, you know, knowledge of the terrain.
Right. Home field advantage.
Yeah, and you wonder sometimes. Like, there was days that I'd sit there and wonder, what the fuck am I doing here? And then days like, yeah, I'm fucking gung-ho. I'm going to fucking cut this dick off and shove it down his throat kind of shit, you know? And it's just days you wonder, this is going to be my last step. Turn this corner, a fucking sniper take me, or a fucking IED hit me, or, you know, you'd be going down like Route Irish, And that was a fucking IED haven, you know.
And you don't the IEDs. You don't see that coming. That's
No, you don't. They're pressure plates.
Boom.
Well, they used pressure plates. They used detonators, cell phones, shit like that. They used all kinds of shit. Afghanistan, whoever the fuck thought of Afghanistan putting bases at the bottom of the fucking mountain and giving the enemy the strategic high points.
It's ridiculous.
I can't say that they were fucking geniuses, but you don't think about it. You just fucking do what you got to do to survive and keep your boys alive, and they keep you alive. Like, I remember when I got shot in the fucking leg, I felt a punch in my leg, and I kind of went down on it, and that's when I knew I got hit. And I'm screaming. Of course, you know, I'm fucking screaming. Fucking blood's coming out everywhere. And
Where in the leg?
Fuck.
Oh, right here, just above the left thigh, right here. Got hit right here. There's a metal rod there now. And
That's the thigh. He pointed to his upper thigh.
yeah, and the doc first thing he did was to try to calm you down. Like, doc would fucking grab your nutsack and say, "Don't worry, you're still there." You know. He's like, and then they would.
Something I would do.
We always made a joke in the military, like the medics and the doc and, you know, shit like that was going to be with you. He's like, "Oh, take 2 ibuprofen and change your socks." Yeah, that's a fucking joke of the
Tape it up. Tape it up.
Like, when people were bitching at me, "Oh, it's hot in here," I'm like, "No, this ain't fucking hot, bitch. Go sit in a fucking blue porta-john in the middle of Iraq in summertime.
Yeah, that's
right.
A fucking oven."
Right.
You know, and you know, you did have your fun moments, like when we would go over to the fucking Air Force FOB and rob their fucking chow hall because they had better food. You know,
Fucking Air Force.
yeah, fucking. Then I remember waking up one time. I finally managed to fall asleep. I hear the cock of a fucking weapon, and I wake up and I look down and I see this fucking camel spider sitting on my fucking plate carrier, and them motherfucking spiders like that, looking at me like, "Oh, motherfucker, you're my lunch today." And I look up and I see my boy Kevin pointing his weapon down at him. I'm like, "Kevin, where do you think that bullet's gonna fucking go?" He goes, "I'm gonna kill that spider." I'm like, "And where do you think that bullet's gonna go?"
It ain't gonna stop in the spider.
You have shit like that where you would fight camel spiders and shit like that. You know, you would hang them together. Fucking them things, bitches are fast. You know,
This was Iraq.
yeah. It's like, for here, I still have certain troubles. It took me. I just recently went into the city for the first time last year. I can't be around a lot of people at once. It's really hard.
Manhattan.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't been there in 5 years.
My
It's like a
fucking first
shithole.
time I ever went to Manhattan, I went for my my FLSD, my fire life safety for my company, and I was so concentrated, I had to focus myself to, you know, not think about anything else around me. And I walked right into this fucking guy. They call him the Naked Cowboy.
Oh, I know Naked Cowboy.
Yeah,
he's a good dude.
I ran his fucking ass over.
Did you run him over?
I did.
I can't.
I've had plenty of drunk conversations with
trying
the
to
Naked
have
Cowboy.
tunnel vision and just be
Yeah.
like, just
Yeah.
got to get
He's
through
been
this
around
day
for
and then
so long.
fucking.
Yeah.
Like, and then I'm like, "What the fuck are you?"
Yeah.
And he introduced himself. I'm like, "Yeah, fuck off." And I went. I was in like, I think it was 49th and Broadway. 49th and Broadway. So somewhere in that area, I remember that much.
Was it the real Naked Cowboy? Because there's a lot of imposters
No,
now.
this was
It
the real
one.
nigga. Yeah. And the only motherfucker I know that's crazier than me to be sitting out there in that kind of cold weather.
Well, chat. We like again.
We could go forever.
We could go
Yeah.
forever, but we do have to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Philosophy.
Yeah, well, not just that. Like, I know you joke around and stuff like that, but also you came out and you still do a lot of service, right? Obviously, like going through what you went through, coming home and getting acclimated to being home, right, wasn't easy.
No.
Right? And it's not like you're just worried about yourself even here and going through this. You know, you help a lot of other people, right? A lot of
Yes.
veterans, and also like you go speak at schools and kids and stuff. So give us an idea now that you're home and you've been through all that, and all these things were so hard to get acclimated back into the real world, as they say. What kind of things do you like try and instill in others? What kind of positive impact do you try and have to your brothers and other people? And what kind of service do you try and do
So
now that you're out?
okay, so what I generally do is I teach my brothers who don't have that dark humor but knows how that mindset to get out of that mindset by using their dark humor. I know it gets them in trouble sometimes, but at the same time, they become you distract them basically to keep their minds away from where they need to be, where they are in their head compared to where they are in real life. So I did run a national crisis line for a while. They finally took over that. I'm no longer doing that, but I managed to save 98 lives.
Wow.
And now that's from all over the United States. And they use their dark humor for everything now, but we joke, we call, we still keep in contact. And, they're out there carrying on the message, helping other brothers and sisters. We're trying to keep the 22 a day down, period, to eliminate it permanently, but we know that we're never going to be able to do that, but we're going to
22 a day? What is it?
22 a day. That's 22 veteran suicides a day, even though we know it's more than that.
22 at the very least.
Yeah. But for schools. So what I do is I bring veterans in to talk about their time in the service. If future people want to join the military, we talk about what service life was like, the camaraderie and all this other stuff and what to expect. Now, I'm just brutally honest, and I tell them, you're going to get a kick in the face if you're not ground-based in reality. Reality is a bitch. It's going to hurt. You're going to have a tough time. But then again, today's military wasn't like when I was in. Back then they could rip your eye out, skull fuck your ass, put it back in. Well, hell, they'll sit their eyeball out there and let you watch yourself get skull fucked. I try to implement a sincerity that we're here to help you. You're not alone. You're not doing these battles alone in your head. We all go through our stints, reach out. We're here, come talk to us.
Don't suffer in silence.
Don't suffer in silence.
Yeah.
What's the old saying? It goes, you'd rather talk to one than be carried by six. Something I think.
Yeah, Paul Bearers.
Yeah, Paul Bearers.
Judged by 12, and carried by 6.
Yeah, and I want them to reach out. I don't care. I don't care what time it is. I'll answer my phone. I will, hey, what's up? And a lot of it's just distracting you from what you want to remember. You don't want to remember, anything could have triggered it. And, civilian life has been rough. I'm not going to lie. It's different. You can't not unknow or become a civilian ever again. Once you go into the military,
Can't unsee what you've seen.
no, it's not so much as unseeing what you see. You just cannot be a civilian again.
You've been through so much, right? And you're still here ticking. And I love how you talked about while you were in there. It's not like you weren't scared. You're not talking about just being fearless. No, there was plenty of times you were scared. There's plenty of times you didn't want to do that. You were an internal struggle in your head, but you had the courage to keep going, right? So can you give us, coming out now, a philosophy that you live by?
One of the philosophies I believe in is one that I come up with was, what good does it do mankind to be at the top if we destroy everything to get there? Because then there's nothing to be on top of.
That's fucking right.
It's great.
So that's one of the biggest philosophies I can honestly think of that I live by, because mankind is the worst thing that's ever happened.
That's right.
Even though I am mankind, I think we're the worst. I'm a nature lover.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm a violent person. I wouldn't say I'm a pacifist either. But know this, you're not able to have peace unless you're capable of great violence. Don't say you're a man of peace if you ain't capable of great violence.
Well, that's why you see so many people who know how to handle themselves. They're not the ones starting trouble. They have that peace. Yeah. They have that contentment. Mm-hmm. They're not the ones walking around, do you know who I know? Or starting fights. I've never met one fucking tough guy that didn't treat people with the utmost respect and was calm, cool, and collective, unless you fuck with them or the family or friends. Yeah. Well, I've never met one tough guy that goes around starting trouble.
A lot of people can confuse weakness and being ineffectual with being a good person, being a peaceful person. Well, just because you can't harm someone and you don't harm someone doesn't mean you are a peaceful or a good person. It's the ability to hurt someone. It's the ability to attack or kill someone and being able to control that. And harness it and only use it for good and only use it when it's necessary. That to me makes you, a powerful, strong person.
Absolutely.
That's called true strength.
Yeah.
That's
you
right.
are mentally fortitude and control of yourself.
Right.
Behind that, don't the old saying is, "Don't mistake my silence for weakness."
Yeah.
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 We're watching. We're already plotting. And I'm on German. Steigen Fahrzeuglimiten für Fraulein.
I don't like the way he's looking at Justin right now.
I love it. No.
Wait a second. What's happening here?
And lastly, Chad, for the listeners who may not be veterans but want to do better at supporting those who are, what's the best way to truly show up for someone who has served, whether that's directly or indirectly?
So I can't speak for other veterans. For me, it's when people tell me, they thank me for my service. All right. I appreciate it, but I didn't really serve for you.
That's right.
I served for my brothers.
Right.
I served to stay alive. That's how I see it. I mean, I can't really speak for other people. I'm glad that I was able, to do something that, most people aren't able to do. I just generally say thank you. You're welcome.
Does it make you uncomfortable when people say thank you for your service?
Not really. It doesn't really affect me. Like, I know that if you want like a Vietnam veteran, just tell them welcome home.
Right.
They never got that.
Right.
Welcome home.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's horrible. They never get
And for, like I said, I can't speak for other veterans. I can't, because everybody has a different thought process. But the best way you could thank us is reach out and see how we're doing. Just say hi. Not just say, hey, how many people did you kill? Or did you see this shit? No, we don't want to talk about that. Like, we just want to sit back, drink a beer, smoke a cigar, talk about the fucking game. Talk about,
Right.
working on trucks or something. We don't want to talk about any, bullshit that we did back then.
Right.
What we saw, what we've been through. We're trying to forget that shit.
Yeah.
But you forget, it's a damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Yeah. No, I get it. We just had my brother who served 9 years in prison on the podcast, and it was the first time I got to talk to him because when he came home, same thing. Like, who the fuck wants to talk about? I wasn't going to ask my older brother what he went through, all that stuff.
Right.
Trying to get acclimated back to life. So, and that's why I do thank you for your service. Just as a level of appreciation, I'm happy you're home. I'm happy people like you are home because you have a positive impact on all of us. I can sit here and listen to you forever because there's a level of appreciation just from another man. I can't even imagine what you went through or what you continue to go through, but the level of appreciation and respect I have for a man with courage and pride and doing it for his brothers, not for anyone else, but having that common bond and willing to sacrifice himself for others and continue to go back. They don't make people like that anymore. So I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah.
And I know both of these guys do.
100%.
And we were like so
absolutely.
ecstatic for you to come on and share your story. And I appreciate you. And I would definitely love to have you back. And just the bullshit. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be other than what are you doing now? Because I know people want to hear that. Especially with all your experience, like what are you doing now? And you're already doing so much.
Right.
And I can't wait to hear. I can only imagine the stuff that you're going to be doing in the future and how you're going to be helping and influencing not just the people that went through what you're going through, but again, it's knowledge. Knowledge is power, right? Like educating people who are here, who are fucking sitting in their nice homes that are coming up with shit to be aggravated about.
Creating
right?
their own
No
problems 'cause
sense
they
of
don't have any real
gratitude.
problems.
That's right. No sense of appreciation. No sense of like appreciation for hard work, ethics, things that your father raised you with, and now you get to raise your kids with. Like what you were talking about with the credit card, all that stuff. It's like we're missing that so much in our youth, and we're turning these kids into victims. And I just don't fucking think that these people understand how dangerous this road is. And I can't like express enough how much gratitude I do have for you and the people like you that put themselves on the line and come back here, and you're suffering publicly in order to help your other brothers, and I can't even express the level of gratitude I have for that.
Just remember this: tough times create strong man. Strong man create easy times. Easy times create weak man.
Yeah.
Weak man create hard times.
Yeah.
It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
And I just thought of something else I did serve for. I fought for this man to be LGBTQ.
He just grabbed Justin's shoulder.
Pointed
not
at me.
mine.
Yeah.
You're the best.
See,
man. I
and-
can't
and
wait to have you back.
The dark sense of humor, which I would like to attribute that last statement to, his dark sense of humor.
I don't think he was joking.
I don't think so either.
That was the most dead serious I saw him all podcast.
Regardless.
And just to let you know, being from Louisiana, we did run the Italians out.
Damn straight. Damn guinea. Damn it. Oh, sorry. You got to take out dams.
I'll fix it in post.
Yeah, the wops, the guineas, all that's good,
Yeah.
but the dams
Can't have
Yeah, you're the best. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate
you for
it.
having
brother.
me, man.
Man, thanks.